So you guys want to know why
my leg's sticky?
So you guys want to know? No, we don't want to know.
I don't want to know that.
I barely sprained my legs, okay?
Okay. You know.
I'm not sure how we came
I'm trying to think of it in like a logical way where normal people would understand.
Yeah, actually that might be a good idea because we're like not really.
We're not normal.
No.
We're not.
It's a lovely, beautiful, calm evening out here on the homestead tonight. Just look right behind me. This is our alfalfa patch. And it was, what, 2 weekends ago that we were out here picking up bales. And if you remember, the alfalfa was probably about that tall when we were doing it. And look at it now. It's almost up to my knees. Hopefully we can cut it really soon before the weeds grow, and we might get a really nice cutting off of it. And this would be, I think, our 4th cutting for the year. All this wonderful rain has done it great. So anyway, I am headed out here to our campground because we decided to have a spur-of-the-moment camp out this weekend. Dylan, he ended up getting Friday off. And so we decided to pitch the tents, and we camped out last night. We're camping out again tonight. And then next weekend, which is Labor Day weekend, we're planning on having a big camp out with my sisters and their families and everybody.
Oh my word.
Oh no.
You thought the spiders were bad last night? We got new issues.
Oh boy.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
And we got another one right here.
What is that?
You can see them on the camera.
They're
like worms.
Are they inchworms?
I think they're inchworms or silkworms or something.
Oh my gosh. So last night we got out here late. Like about
10 o'clock late.
10 o'clock late. And let's just say our campground's Spooky Thickets lived up to its name. It was pretty spooky out here.
Brooke had the flashlight and she obviously wasn't using it. And long story short, I walked face first into a giant spider web. It had to have been that big. And I walk into it. I do the biggest boogie dance ever. Mom's laughing at me.
It was the most hilarious thing ever!
And then Brooke goes, "Oh my god, what?" And then finally shines the flashlight where she should be, shining it. And then we see a destroyed web and a spider crawling up it into the tree. And then my hair was just covered in spider web. Like you could run your hands through it and you could hear it snapping and sticky just everywhere. It was gross.
And the spider, it was a ginormous one. It was like, I don't know, about that big.
At least that big.
Oh, it was gross. And so, after we got that issue kind of resolved, I guess, and not really resolved, but just...
No, it was never resolved. It's still a current issue.
Yeah, we like managed to get past the spider web and on into our campground. We were getting ready to go in the tent, and it was dark, and we had the flashlight. We were really shining it.
We weren't using it again.
Yeah, we weren't using it. We were just shining it in the wrong spot. And I happened to glance over, and right here by my shoulder, there was another ginormous spider dangling down from the trees.
Wait,
and it was
Mom,
like almost touching me.
Phoebe started freaking out. Phoebe was like, I can't remember exactly what she said. It was like right next to you or something like that. And like, ooh, or something. I can't remember.
Oh my gosh, it was so scary. So anyway, Miley hit it with a flip-flop and then we couldn't find it. We lost it, and so we were kind of spooked on where it was at. And then after that, we were sitting at the table, and every once in a while, spiders would just come down and just dangle around us, and we'd scream, and it was an adventurous night.
Spiders are dangling around you guys?
Yes, on the table.
Well, I never really sat at the table. I was in the tent the whole time. And I checked the tent for spiders, but there are no spiders.
And then Miley and Brooke went to bed, and then Dylan and I were sitting up chatting for a bit, and then we smelled skunk, and at that point I was ready to just go in the house.
I was so done after the spider incident.
But we didn't. We braved it out. Oh, so I really can't see what's going on very well, but getting the tiki torches.
Getting the tiki torches going. I put just a little splash in all of them so we don't use too much. They go out probably halfway through the night, but... Ollie's over there staring at us. I bet you took a dump. Reeks.
See if we can see Oliver. There he is. Hey, Ollie. Ollie. He's ignoring us. Hey, Brooke, you made it out.
Yes, I did.
Ready for another adventurous night out here?
Yes.
We should warn Brooke of the new issue.
Yeah, we got a new issue. It's
Oh,
not
dear.
spiders tonight.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. What is it?
It's little worms
Ew.
hanging down.
Like, they look like inchworms, but they look like they're hanging their own silk. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I wish I could unsubscribe from Spooky Thickets, because I'm tired of its issues.
Poor Dylan, he's really had it rough.
Did you walk into a silky web worm thing?
No, I just found them, but it's the spider web thing I haven't gotten over yet.
You want to see mine?
I don't have one.
I'm sure you guys see mine.
I saw you king.
Yeah, I've seen your king tail. Me too. Okay, Miley, go.
So now we're playing spoons.
And then you need to pass them to me.
Oh.
I don't know why I picked that one up, but don't pick that one up.
Oh!
I got the squishy one. Ew!
So,
like on the ground?
Miley lost.
Miley got it.
I see a card.
So you guys want to know why?
My leg sticks.
So you guys want to know? No, we don't want to know.
I
why
don't want to
you're
know that.
I'm barely spraying my legs, okay?
Okay. You know.
I'm not sure how we came
I'm
up with
trying to think of it in like a logical way where normal people would understand.
Yeah, actually, that might be a good idea because we're like not really.
We're not normal.
No.
No, we're not.
So the song Royals. This isn't off to a very good start.
This isn't.
She sings in her song, "It will never be royals."
So you can call me Queen Bee, or maybe her, or I'm not
It will
sure.
never be. You can call me Queen Bee.
Long story short, the kids were watching a video of this really cute girl trying to sing broils.
Yeah, it
And-
was on the internet. It was a viral video.
Yeah, it was a viral video. And the little girl in the video, she goes, and you can call me Green Bean instead of, and you can call me Queen Bean.
B.
Bee. Queen Bee.
Queen
yeah,
Bee.
Queen Bee.
She thought the song was "You Can Call Me Green Bean."
Oh gosh. That scared me.
And so
Mosquito.
Dylan started singing that all the time, kind of. And Miley.
Whenever I would sing it in the car, driving to and with town, with Miley in there, I would sing it, "You Can Call Me Green Bean."
Right. And then, so then Miley got to the point, she was always calling Dylan Bubba, because that was her nickname for him when she was little. And he'd be like, it's Green Bean. And so then she started calling him Green Bean all the time. And from there, it went on to String Bean. And I don't know how...
It just evolved.
Yeah.
We come up with a nickname for something, and then we'll just change it
Yeah.
randomly.
And so then she'd always be like, hey, Green Bean. And he'd be like, it's String Bean. And then,
I would actually have it, I'm string of the beans, and I'd make sure, put an emphasis, that she would say string of the beans. And I was just being goofy.
Yeah, just goofiness. Pure goofiness. Pure weirdness. So then, after they got String Bean, then they decided they needed to come up with a nickname for Miley.
I'm not sure how we got my nickname.
And I'm not really sure how we...
Miley
Didn't
was
you,
green
like-
bean for a while. Or,
I didn't.
You were
No.
some sort of bean.
I was
No.
green bean and I didn't like that.
Yeah, you didn't like green bean. So
He
you
was
just
green bean.
you just picked out your nickname, and you said, I want to be Sugar Pea.
I did.
Yeah, and that was
remember
that.
So
And-
yeah,
I've always we've called you Sugar Pea.
Sugar Pea. And then they needed to come up with a nickname for Brooke. And they wanted a nickname that kind of like rhymed with Green Bean.
And Brooke didn't
And-
want to be a bean. She just
Yeah.
wasn't very accepting of the bean. So one time there was a TV or show on the TV, and it had something to do with dogs.
Oh.
And the dog's name was, what was it, Fifi?
Phoebe. Poo-poo, wasn't it?
No,
Wait,
it was-
Fifi.
Just think it's Fifi. Was the dog's
Okay,
name.
I'm thinking of something different. Okay.
I thought it was Phoebe.
Yeah.
And then that's how Brooke's name came about.
I thought it was a
And then the
show.
kids told her that they kept calling her Phoebe, and she didn't want to be called Phoebe, and they told her that the only way they'd quit calling her that is if she accepted it as her nickname. And she never would accept it as her nickname, but they kept calling her that, and now it's just become her name.
She's Phoebe now.
She's Phoebe.
Phoebe.
You
So that's,
should have named her Phoebe.
Yeah.
It's just more correct.
So
It's so weird to call you Brooke.
it
I know.
is. You're just Phoebe now.
Yeah.
And so that's how our odd, strange names. Now, every once in a while, you might hear Dylan call Miley Kansas. And that's her main nickname.
She's got multiple
My
nicknames.
nickname used to be Texas when we lived there.
Little Miss Texas when we lived in Texas. Then we moved to Kansas, and then I couldn't call her Little Miss Texas anymore. So we started calling her Little Miss Kansas. But then she grew up, and then you couldn't call her Little Miss
You
anymore.
still called me that.
So she's just Kansas now.
Well, I thought it was also, too, because when we moved to Kansas, we used to say, remember in Texas?
That's how our name came up.
And then
Yeah.
Brooke got mad because Dylan was
all he
always
would say. My
remember in
gosh.
Texas? Remember in Texas? And he used to do that to make Brooke mad all the time. And so then Brooke was like, well, if I hear you say that one more time, I'm going to punch you. And then, so he wouldn't. And then Miley would say it. And then she's like, well, I'm going to still punch you even if Miley says it. So Miley would be screaming, remember in Texas? And Brooke would punch him in the arm. And he'd be like, no. And then she'd say it again. And then Dylan would go, no, Miley. It's Kansas. And he kept saying Kansas over again instead of Texas. So that way she quit punching you or something. And then he had started
remember
calling Miley Texas. Or Kansas.
Kansas. I remember that now.
Oh, and your nickname can be Weed Eater String too.
Weed eater.
Weed Eater.
It sounds like string beans, so.
What,
Actually, it doesn't.
what
really.
was I doing that I came up with that?
I was working in the shop.
Working in the shop.
And then-
Remember, we were setting up this campground.
Oh yeah.
It's actually making the toilet. And then you saw the sign Weed Eater String in the tote in there. And you just called me Weed Eater String.
No, I said Weed Eater String. And you said, what did you just call me?
What did you call me? That's right. You said Weed Eater String. And then that name is not very common now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is String Bean, this is Phoebe, and this is Sugar Pea.
Slash Kansas.
AKA Kansas.
Or Kansas.
AKA Little Miss Texas. AKA Little Miss Kansas. AKA Miley.
And it should be String Bean, aka Weed Eater String, aka Dylan. We're sitting here holding the cards, but we're doing nothing.
Okay,
Okay,
ready,
go.
set, go.
Go! Not the way the cards. Right there.
Right there.
We got games done and
Yes.
over with.
And right there.
And now we found another danger in our campground.
Oh, right there.
Right where?
Right there.
Yes.
And there. And one right there.
I wonder if we can see that on the camera.
Right there, right there, right there. They're everywhere.
See them.
You want me to tell them what they are?
What are they?
Hedge apples. They're big ones. You can see a ton over there.
They fall with like a forceful thud.
They do.
Scary. If one were to hit you on the head, you'd probably be knocked clean out.
And we keep hearing them landing all around us.
Scurry!
Instead of us being spooky thickets, maybe it should be dangerous thickets.
Deadly thickets.
Deadly.
Deadly thickets.
Spooky. So we got our s'mores made, and tonight nobody's gotten any marshmallow in their hair so far anyway.
So far.
So far is the key word.
So anyway, we're probably gonna finish eating our s'mores and then wrap up the video for tonight. Next week's gonna be a busy week because I've got canning, and more canning to do. Next weekend we'll probably do another camp out, and then after that I'll probably do some more canning, and then we'll have a state fair. And also, somewhere in between all of that, we'll show you what Brooke is doing with her aquarium. So be sure to tune in for more videos on that.
Peace out!